And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from morning to evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto even? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. Now, that's on a side note. I want to say that you got people out here that just think they can pray straight to the Most High. All right, that's one reason why a lot of people don't believe in Yahushua the Christ. All right, Hamashiach Yahushua. All right, like they don't need no mediator between them and the Most High. Okay, you've always had a mediator between you and the Most High. There's always been a high priest or a leader or a judge or a mighty man that the Most High has set up to be your link. All right, between you, the average citizen, and the leader or elder over Israel. All right, and right now, because we don't have a spiritual place or a physical place to go, or a physical temple to go into, we have spiritual sacrifices and temples that we have, okay, within ourselves. All right, we also have a spiritual high priest that is the mediator between those sacrifices and prayers that we put up, and that's the man Hamashiach Yahushua. All right, the man you call Jesus Christ in the New Testament. Okay, the scripture says this: and Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. All right. Now let's see if Moses said, man, shut up, you heathen. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's see how Moses reacted to somebody who wasn't from the chosen line, trying to give him advice on how to run his government that the Most High gave to him. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou, and note that Midian made sacrifices to the Most High power of Israel. It says this: be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt know them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. All right, so he commanded Moses to find men, all right, that whose description I just told you and read, and they was going to judge over thousands and hundreds and rulers and tens and fifties. All right. And that goes back to a point I made about all the different elders or the leaders in these congregations around the people who know that they're Israelites and believe in the Most High and His Son. All right. Just because I'm not from the same 1,000 or 100 or 50 than you, don't mean we ain't still brothers, man. Now this is verse 22. And let them judge the people at all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee, and thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so. Then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Moses chose able men of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, and every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. All right. And a lot of our leaders out there, they don't want to be just the leader over there at little 50 or 10. They want to be the leader and elder over everybody. And if you don't listen to them, you ain't in the truth. All right. But the point is, Moses diplomatically hearkened unto a heathen. All right. Because he understood that by him and by his advice and by hearkening unto him, the will of the Lord was going to be done. Now, let's go to Genesis 25:1. So like, let's go to Numbers 10:28. This is concerning Moses dealing with another Midianite. All right, Raguel, who is Jethro's son. So this was Moses' brother-in-law, another Midianite. All right, the scripture says this. Numbers 10:28. Like I said, I'm just trying to show you how when you deal with the heathen, it ain't all about ripping their heads off and bowling them down the street. It says this. Thus were the journeyings of the children of Israel according to their armies when they set forward. And Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Raguel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto the place of which the Lord has said, I will give it to you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good. All right, he said that to a Midianite. For the Lord hath spoken good concerning Israel. And he said unto him, I will not go, but I will depart to my own land and to my kindred, because they was another kindred of Israel. Scripture says this, and he said, leave, this is what Moses said, leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as thou knowest how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and thou mayest be unto us instead of eyes. Because these heathen were leading us through the wilderness. The scripture says this, and it shall be if thou go with us, yea, it shall be that what goodness the Lord shall do unto us, the same we do unto thee. All right? Because I'm going to read you the law next, how we supposed to be lending to these other nations. And they supposed to be under our rule. Okay? And prospering under us because of us. All right? Now, the Most High is going to recompense their iniquity upon their own heads. So they're going to have to serve captivity and serve their punishment just like we had to serve our punishment, because that's just the way of the world. All right? That's the way of the world of Israel, world without end. All right? Now, verse 33, and they departed from the mount of the and they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in the 3 days' journey to search out a resting place for them. All right. Now, we're going to go to a couple of examples about how King David dealt with some of the heathen. All right. Now, like I said, this is just to give you a balance. All right. On dealing with heathen and how to be diplomatic. All right. I'm not stressing or pushing forth no doctrine for nobody to be in love with no stinking heathen, because I don't like the heathen. Okay. If the heathen ain't trying to help me do the will of the Lord, all right, I don't want to have nothing to do with them. If they bucking up, I want them dead. All right. When that time comes. But for now, I'm going to live peaceably among them as I'm commanded by the scriptures. All right. But understand, like Paul said, what he say, having a with all readiness to recompense those that are unruly or whatever. All right. That's where the heathen stand. And that's where they always going to stand. On good terms until they get unruly. All right. And start trying to buck up against the way of the Lord and his men. Now this is 2 Samuel 21. And we're going to start at verse 1. The scripture says this. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years. Year after year. And David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, it is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew not the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites Salakia. It is for Saul. All right, this is the reason why the famine came, because of something Saul did. Let's read and see what he did. And for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king and the who are the Gibeonites? The Gibeonites are the inhabitants of Gath. All right. Where's Gath? Philistia. All right. Where Goliath was from. All right. And who live in Philistia? The Philistines. The Philistines come out of the line of Ham. All right. The children of Canaan. All right. The scripture says this. They're not Israelites. The scripture says this. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah. All right, so Israel has always been caught up in just trying to murder all the heathen that they can, thinking that that's the will of the Most High. All right, sometimes that's the will of the Most High, and sometimes